tensions are currently running high at Siza informal settlement near Rustenburg in the Northwest Province. Allegations of livestock theft have led to violence within the area, with several homes burned to the ground. But now fears are also mounting of further attacks, and residents fearing returning to their homes. But our reporter eNCA's Bafedile Moerane checks in with the local police to find out what exactly is happening and what is being done. Bafedile, a very warm good morning to you. I understand the tensions continue to rise in the area. Amongst other issues raised by the community is livestock theft. How dire is this situation in the area?
Well, for quite some time, residents here are saying that they've been crying foul and having to report the issue of stock theft to the police, and no action being taken until to this point, where now they are taking the matters into their own hands, having to say that between these two groups, they are actually not happy, to say that the police are not really on the ground to help us now. We are fighting. So it's about two groupings of residents here who are fighting against each other, to the point whereby they retaliated in the past 2 days, having to see the situation flaring up, and to the point whereby over 20 shacks were set alight. People left at this point without homes, and it's really a stressing situation. I engaged the municipality of Rustenburg spokesperson earlier on, Tumelo, who is saying that they are still trying to negotiate with both the groups for the situation to actually be resolved. But it looks like there is no solution at this point in time. She promised that she will speak to us later on this morning. We spoke also to the councillor earlier on, the local councillor here, who is actually saying that they have been trying to speak to these residents about this matter, but it looks like it's going to take a long way to find an amicable solution to this issue. If you look behind me there, Tumelo, this is one of the shacks that were actually set alight, over 20 shacks that were set alight, and the police have actually been sent on the ground to monitor the situation, and they are saying that there are no reports of injuries that have been reported at this point in time, but they are, however, on the ground. Even last night, according to the community leaders, they are saying that the police were here patrolling, and it was a little bit some sort of tensions last night, where there were some fires, some shots actually being fired on the ground here. So the community members and leaders are saying that they're really appealing to government to descend down, because it looks like government officials are not really on the ground to come and tackle this matter head on. And for quite some time, residents are saying that they've been trying to engage authorities, including the police, in this matter, and the local municipality, to come and descend down to resolve this matter. So at this point, it seems like it's calm, but it's not really calm. The tensions are really simmering, if one could say, Tumelo. But however, we understand that there will be some officials from the local municipality who will be dispatched here to investigate and consolidate information, in particular to help those who are displaced. The women that we spoke to last night when we arrived here, who are saying that all their belongings have been set alight, including their passports. They've got nothing. They've got nowhere to go. There is a shelter that they have actually been requested to sleep at for the past 3 days, since the tensions are running high in this area. Tumelo.
Concerning, I mean, to hear that, we can imagine these are families, probably families with children as well, where their belongings have been burned to the ground. So are you saying, Bafedile, at this point, even though they're still awaiting for government officials to assist, are there shelters, alternative shelters in the meantime to accommodate them?
It's the shelters that were actually organized by community leaders out of concern, to say that, but government officials are actually not here. They are not coming forth to come and help you, and we cannot leave you to sleep on the streets. So they organized those shelters. One of the leaders saying that they spoke to Red Cross earlier on to ask for help, and they have promised that they will also descend down to the area to see how those families are being helped, because everything has been set alight. Their clothes are also set alight. They were telling us yesterday that the ones that they are wearing, it's the only clothes that they are left with. So earlier on, we spoke to the provincial police spokesperson, Sabata Mokhabone, the Tumelo, who is saying that they are still investigating at this point, and public violence case has been opened in this area. Let's listen to what he actually said to us.
Police in the Bujanala Sub-District 2 and Buitikong in particular are still monitoring the situation at Siza informal settlement following the fight that flared up between the Basotho and Xhosas on Tuesday. At this stage, approximately 10 shacks were set alight. However, the exact number will still be confirmed. A case of public violence has been opened and no arrest has been effected. We haven't received any reports of injuries.
All right, Bafedile Moerane, that's where we'll leave it for now with you, the colleagues. It seems that tensions continue to rise within the area, even though seemingly visually calm. But you can imagine behind the scenes a lot of concerns from residents around their safety, appealing for government intervention, but also law enforcement, just in as far as assuring their safety, given that the latest out in the Northwest Province, particularly in the Siza informal settlement, some shacks have been burned to the ground. Obviously, families affected, their belongings being burned, important documents also being burned. But we understand that alternative accommodation, or at least shelters, have been arranged by some leaders to assist the affected families. I'll be sure to catch up with Bafedile and speak to her as soon as there are any other developments.